So I want to tell you about a story. I had a lead that was given to me about 2 months ago, and he came in from Knoxville, Tennessee. He came into my database, and I've been communicating with him, talking, email, and he had a price point of 565, which I know in Oklahoma City is like a mansion, right, Deanna?
Yes, it
Okay.
is. Like I have a three car garage, 3 bedroom, fully a master, like a really big master. I got it for 180,000, and it has over $100,000 in equity right now. And if I bought it anywhere else, it would probably be about $600 to $700,000 home. And I found it myself, even though I had a realtor.
Wow. So anyway, I wanted to tell you that he finally said he's moving out here in a couple of weeks and he wants a new build. Good morning, John O'Sullivan. Good morning, John. You're on mute. John is in Los Angeles. So I met him the first.
I found my mute button. Good morning.
Good morning. I met him for the first time yesterday in Roseville, California, and his price point was 565. I sent him to he wants new builds. So I sent him to a new build out in a place called Linda, California, which is almost Yuba City. New builds start around 430,000, which is unbelievable for Sacramento County, Placer County, El Dorado County. And he went out there yesterday, was supposed to meet me yesterday, but he went before and did some guerrilla warfare and looked at the neighborhood, and he goes, not my cup of tea. And I pushed him. I go, look, there's other subdivisions. And I mentioned Roseville because he wanted the outskirts of Sacramento. He didn't want to live in Sacramento. So I said, there's a place in Roseville out in Fitiment Road. Brenda, I know you know where that's at.
Yes, I do.
And so we went out and looked at about 6 homes out at the JMC builds. Folks, these homes were $980,000.
Wow.
And I looked at him and I go, you really like these? He goes, Frank, I love these. And I go, but your price point on your profile said 565. He says, don't worry about that. The message here is what I'm trying to tell you is that even though you get a lead or you meet somebody and you get their qualifications, you really need to start asking question upon question, because I had no freaking idea that he was looking at $980,000 homes because his profile said 565. So what do you think I did? I sent him to 565 out in Linda, out in Yuba City. Well, I'll just cut right to it. It wasn't bougie enough for him. You guys like that word? Bougie?
Wow. I use it a lot.
Yeah.
Pretty funny.
So his wife owns a marina in Knoxville, Tennessee, and he's going to get a place here and they're going to go back and forth. So the moral of the story is, just because somebody says that to you, always say, well, what do you expect in a 565 home? Okay. The only thing he didn't like about the homes yesterday, they didn't have a pool in it. I go, well, they're model homes. He goes, yeah, but I'd really like to get about a year or so old with a pool in it. I go, there you go. Now I got my criteria. So it had nothing to do with all the profile that he told me. So with that said, you got to really do your research when you're working with your clients, because that threw me for a loop. You know, I'm looking at him and I go, 565, this house is 980,000. He goes, don't worry about it. I got plenty of money. Wouldn't you like to have about 10 people of that?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm taking leads, Frank.
You are, as you should. So how is everybody dealing with leads? Brenda, I'll start with you. How are you getting your leads?
So I have a lot of boosts that I've done through KV Core.
Okay.
And it seems like when I follow up with those leads, they're like, oh, I'm just looking. I just love looking at, real estate. So I follow up with them. I think it's like 3 times and they have the same response. So I kind of put them on the C list and just touch base with them like once every month.
So you're nurturing them.
Pretty much. but I
Okay.
want to see in front of them at the same time.
Okay. Are you paying for these leads?
I did when I boosted the property. So
Okay.
like if I do an open house, I boost the property for like $45 through KV Core and,
Okay.
boost it 3 days. Most of my leads and deals have come from open houses.
As they should.
So I try to nurture them at least once a week, touch base with them, give them a market update, ask for the appointment.
Okay.
And
All
that's
right,
kind of,
good.
yeah.
John O'Sullivan, talk to me, my man. How are you getting your leads?
Yes, sir. I'm just reaching out through people I've known through the years and talking about what's going on in the world and business and answering questions. Got a couple in the pipe of listing going on with we're working on an eviction, but we're real close. And then buyer we're looking with, and that buyer actually came from an agent who went inactive, but I've maintained a relationship with.
Oh, perfect.
So I still have a bunch of contacts like that. So I don't reach out to my sphere just for specifically for what are they doing, but who do they know? And I have a lot of professional contacts that, I'm rebuilding, let's just say rebuilding referral relationships.
So SOI is your main form of leads.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Today, in the past, it was open houses. But today it's
Okay. So how many in your SOI do you have?
we have about, I just went over 5, so about 600.
Perfect.
Yep.
Great answer. Yeah. The people that tell me I got 11,000 people in my SOI and I'm going like, oh boy.
No. And then, and I think a lot of agents and I'm no different. You get bad at following up and maintaining all these relationships and contacts. I'm really going back and digging into, people I haven't talked to even in years, and at the same time creating new relationships. But I'm more of a relationship guy.
Yes, you are.
And I'll be honest, there's one, just as an example, I have one that I had sold a house to that was years ago, that was let's just say confirmed renter. And it took a lot of convincing to convince him they could buy. The first transaction I ever did with them. Ended up helping them get a house and then a second one. And then I kind of dropped off, and it was 12 years before I ever talked to them again. Every time I drove by, I felt bad. And so every time, and then I saw a sign go up in front of their house, but it didn't sell. And then I reached out the following year with just a text, Mother's Day. And the only contact I had was her work email. So anybody in my phone that was a mother or I knew was a mom, I sent a happy Mother's Day message to. And the next day I got a call from her husband.
Well, yeah.
And then what happened was this: Karen told her husband, call John. It always works out with John. And listed that house, sold him another one. A year later, he got sick, sold that house, got him. So I did 7 transactions with this family, and I had dropped it off for 12 years. So lesson learned, right?
12 years.
Right. Driving by every day because it was right on the way to my mom's house. Not every day, but regularly.
Did that listing sign that went up, that pissed you off a little bit?
Yeah, it pissed me off in particular because of who it went up with, but it didn't work out with them. So that, worked out for me.
Sure did, John. Congratulations on that. That's awesome.
Yeah. That's it. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Deonna, talk to me. Are you getting your
I-
leads from somewhere?
Right now, I'm just using the FSBO list that Ralph gives us, and then I'm also on like Facebook Marketplace. I'm also posting from KB Core over to Marketplace and posted on my page. So I actually got 3 people that contacted me on between Friday and Saturday for one of the homes that they're selling now.
What is the software platform for the FSBOs?
It's just a list that is an Excel sheet. I was just a list that he gave me to call.
Okay. All right. So he must be using some kind of something, and then he puts an Excel spreadsheet, and then he
And gives
puts
it
them
to
all down
us.
there. Got
Yep.
it. Okay.
And all we do is we call them, if they're still have the house and they're wanting to sell it, we get their information. We always catch their email, their phone number, and we also make sure that we notate on what's going on with the house in the Excel sheet.
See, for those of you who are listening to this podcast right now, what all 3 of these folks are doing is awesome. One is not better than the other because Remember, it's when you win and you get listings and business out of it. I don't care what kind of way you get your referrals,
Mhm.
either through lists or whatever. Okay. Deanna, what you're talking about takes a lot of patience and a lot of courage, because you probably get people hanging up on you. Don't ever call again. You realtors are the worst. I mean, I can hear it all because I used to do that.
A good
Okay?
thing I've done a few years of call center. I've done 3 cold calling companies and then 2 like incoming customer service calls. So
Yes.
it doesn't really bother me that much. I mean, if they don't have the house, if they sold it already, all right, let me get your information so I can go ahead and get you taken off this list. And we just keep on going from there.
Wow. That is amazing. Now, all of us are with a certain company and we use something called KV Core, and rumor has it in a couple of weeks, there's a whole, sorry, that's a call coming in. I need to escape that. But there's a whole new KV Core coming to light. As a matter of fact, I've heard rumors that it's not even going to be called KV Core.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I will bring you the information as I get it. I know Ralph's on top of it. I have another guy named Shannon Pyatt who is on the board of KV Core.
Mhm.
I'm really interested in learning this as well, because I have 600 names in KV Core that get
Right.
drips, emails. And as a matter of fact, I've not even done a special video now,
Right.
and I send that to each one of my clients. Matter of fact, that's a really good idea for you guys too. 25-second video. Hi, my name's Brenda. I see that you came into my lead. You can say whatever you want. Just want to introduce yourself, introduce myself. I want to put a name with a face, and I'm really excited helping you either list your home or buy your home. And please contact me if you have any questions. I learned that from Tom Ferry this year, and it has really worked out for a lot of the people. So a welcome video with your emails, texts, or whatever. So that would be one good tip for you guys today, because some of your leads don't know what you look like.
No, I try to put pictures like on all my stuff so people can see what I look like.
Good. Yes. And I also have a picture on my email as well.
I have a picture. I have like 4 emails with all of them have different pictures, so I know which email it is.
Okay, good. Excellent. So tell me something good that's been happening. I know, Brenda, you're working with a buyer. John, you're getting ready some stuff. Deanna, tell me some good stuff that's happening.
I actually finished 2 weeks of college and I got A's.
That's really cool. That is really cool. Are you
Right.
going for a master's or a bachelor's?
I'm going for a bachelor's for business management and specializing in marketing.
Oh, this is right up your alley.
Yeah, that's why it's like, because I originally was going to go into healthcare, but then I wasn't introduced to Ralph and I was just registering for school. So I decided that, okay, since I'm going to be doing this, I need to do business management and marketing, which will help me market the houses that I'm trying to sell and get all that extra good information. And also it goes over real estate in the class.
Okay. If I were you, I would make really good friends with Wendy Forsythe. She's the new Chief Marketing Officer of EXP. That's who I would become thick as thieves with if I were you.
Wendy Forsythe?
Yep. Just appointed last month.
Oh, okay.
Yep, thank you.
Yeah. I even give her a welcome. I said, you have no idea who I am, but I'm introducing myself to you.
I just saw, I actually just saw you on like all the other pages and I actually reached out to you personally just to say hi.
You did?
Yeah,
Before the phone call?
I messaged you.
Yeah, I tried not to look at my phone while I'm on the call because, as you
Oh,
know,
no, when we first started talking, I
Oh,
reached out to
got it.
you personally.
Okay. All right. John, tell me something good.
Tell me something good. A lot of new energy coming into our world and things like that. Like I said before, the reaching out to people, reconnecting has been pretty good for me, and made a contact with a past neighbor that we haven't talked to in 18 years, who's now out of state, who needs to sell her property because her tenant's not paying her rent. So
18 years?
18 years later, an old neighbor,
That
right?
is crazy.
People are trying to figure stuff out, and they just need a calm, cool, collected head, informed person to talk to. And I think from there, then they, like you said in your example, then they start to open up,
Yeah,
right? Then they start to open up because everybody's got their guard up, and everybody's going to put that information out but they're not ready to trust until they start to know who you are.
wow. That's great, John. Congratulations. You so freaking deserve it. Brenda,
So-
what about you, other than your buyer?
I am hosting a fabulous open house this weekend for Jennifer. It's a brand new listing, and I got the open house all 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in Roseville. So it should be a pretty happening weekend.
Tell me something about the house.
Well, let's see. I think it's on an acre. I don't exactly know the location yet.
what-
It's on an acre. It's got an ADU attached to it. I think it's going to go on the market for about $1 million. I want to say that it's off a baseline. That's all I know. She just kind of gave me a little bit of a bait and said, "Hey, do you want an open house next weekend?" And I was like, "Yes, where is it?"
Yeah, that's out by Morgan Creek Golf Course.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that would make sense for the acreage.
I think
Yeah.
it's going to be
That's great.
the
I-
only negative she said was that there wasn't RV parking, but I mean, they have a pool, they have everything else. So
The
hey, that
only
was
negative,
your buyer.
it does not have RV, or it does.
It does not.
Oh, but God, you got an acre.
I know, right?
Yeah. Potato. Yeah, that doesn't make any difference. So, all right, you guys, listen, my time is up. Thank you for joining me. I know I could go on for hours, but we've got stuff to do. Thank you so much for joining me at 9 a.m. this morning and just letting me share and let you guys share. And this happens every Monday at 9 a.m. unless there's a holiday. Have a great week, everybody.
Thank
You too. Bye-bye.